Millions of kids are given antibiotics for sinus infections every year, but about half end up not actually needing the medication. A new way of testing for the common illness could help eliminate the use of unnecessary prescriptions. The lead author of this latest UPMC study, Dr. Nader Shaikh, is here to talk about what this could mean for families and for our health system. Doctor, first of all, what is the difference between a sinus infection and a common cold, and how do you know the difference?
Right. Sinusitis is a bacterial complication of a regular cold. So we all get colds. The virus goes in our nose. The sinuses are connected to the back of the nose. And it all becomes a mess from the virus. And in some people, you get a bacterial superinfection on top of it. And importantly, the bacteria that cause that come from the nose. And there's two main bacteria that cause this problem.
And the study is very, we were talking, very recent. What did you learn? What did you find?
We found that if there's two bacteria that cause sinusitis, like I said, if you don't have these two bacteria and you take antibiotics, it really doesn't help you. So that suggests that we should be testing to treat somebody with sinusitis. Right now, we sort of are guessing more or less who has sinusitis and who doesn't, but we could actually be testing by doing a nose swab. If the nose swab is positive for these two bacteria, then the antibiotics help, and if it isn't, then it seems to be doing nothing.
Okay, so as a parent, and I imagine all parents out there are thinking, okay, giving medicine to my child if they may be sick, it's going to help them. Why would too many antibiotics be bad? Again, if it's like, okay, the medicine's not really helping them. On one hand, we think, okay, but it still might help them. Why is it bad if we give them medicine when they shouldn't?
So antibiotics have side effects. They not only kill the bad bacteria, they kill the good bacteria also. So that happens in your nose and in your gut, and we don't really understand the full ramifications of that. So the quick thing is in 2 weeks when you really need antibiotics, it won't work as well. And the gut changing, bacteria changing in the gut might have long-term implications.
Okay, so this is, really groundbreaking. Why are sinus infections hard to diagnose?
Because we can't see into the sinuses. Like ear infections, we just look in the ear, or throat, pneumonia, we listen to the lungs, but in the sinuses, there's nothing to look at. So we're basically looking at the patient. They have a runny nose, so does everybody else, and some children have it for longer, so then we're like, maybe this is a sinusitis, but it's sort of very difficult for us and anybody else to know what's going on, really.
So with this research, the findings, and really saying, okay, if we could just kind of take the test and find out, what's next? Where do you go from here?
So we're suggesting that the sinusitis should be diagnosed just like we do strep throat. You swab the nose and you go based on that. So the next phase is to try to figure out how to do this in offices. What's the easiest way to do? What's the best test that's going to be quick and easy to get quick answers, and how do we implement this?
Okay, so again, as a parent, I feel like, all right, we want that to happen because then we know if we should be giving our child that medicine. Until it does happen, what can we do as parents when our child does have that runny nose or that sort of...
Right. So until the tests are available, I think parents should continue doing the same thing. So whenever the cold is taking on forever to go away, so more than 10 days, that's a sign that it's not it might be a sinusitis. So, or if it's getting worse, so normally viruses come and go away in a week or 10 days, and if it's getting worse instead of better, that's sort of a sign that there might be something. So you probably should go see somebody. They look for other reasons for it, and then if it's not, they would think about sinusitis and then discuss with you whether they would suggest treating or not.
Okay, and are the challenges you face in that next step? You said now it's kind of trying to get this test implemented, I would imagine.
Right, I think the tests are not fancy or anything. It's just a regular PCR like we do for COVID, so the tests are available. They could be added tomorrow to the panel of the different pediatric offices, so this is something that can be done. It's just not sure how fast that will happen in the real world.
Okay. We look forward to kind of continuing and seeing what happens, especially as we get ready for back to school season. We know those little runny noses, can really sort of throw a wrench in the schedule, and we want our kids to be healthy. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And of course, you can find more information about the study and impact of antibodies on our website at kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. Coming up on Talk Pittsburgh, a new uplifting novel takes you back in time through the eyes of a young boy trying to find his voice. The author shares what she hopes young readers gain from her story.